Here we are on the final Sunday of Advent, just days before Christmas. And instead of hearing from the Gospel of Luke about the Annunciation of Mary by the angel Gabriel, we have instead this text that comes immediately after that Annunciation scene. And so it's worthwhile seeing how what Mary does is informative about how we view our preparation for the birth of Christ. She is one who responds. She doesn't think about herself, but rather she's an individual who responds in haste. That's all she cares about. The good news that she received is not just about her, it's about another, her kinswoman Elizabeth, who's with child. And so she thinks of her. And she has this sense of openness to however God is leading her, with a responsiveness that allows her to be generous. That, I think, has a lot to say to us as we prepare for Christmas as well. That life is an ongoing invitation, and things change so often in our life, and we're given a new set of circumstances each and every day. But our approach should always be to ask ourselves, what is the Lord calling me to now? How can I respond? How can I do it in such a way that benefits another? And the second thing we see is that Mary goes in haste uphill. She's willing to take on the challenge of an arduous trip up to the Judean hillsides. I've been in those parts of the world before, and I can tell you those paths are not easy to climb. It's reflective of how each one of us as well need to make sure that we're not thwarted by the challenges that we face in helping one another. Sometimes those challenges can be maybe preoccupation with our own worries and anxieties, and we step back from helping someone because we think we have to take care of ourselves first. Or maybe it's the hard struggle of forgiving another who has hurt us, or maybe allowing ourselves to be forgiven by someone else as well, so that we heal by reconciliation those wounds that are there. That's a tough slog sometime for us, to go the uphill journey of reconciliation, especially when it costs us something, our pride, making us humble in seeking forgiveness. And yet Mary is one who's willing to take that arduous trip uphill and invites us to do the same. And we also see that when she visits Elizabeth, not only is Elizabeth, but her child in her womb are filled with joy. Mary comes to bring joy, to bring happiness, elation to Elizabeth. That is something that we should be prepared to do in this season as well. Last week we celebrated Gaudete Sunday. We were asked to find the joy of Christmas, but not just to keep it for ourselves. This week is an invitation to make sure we share it. How do we do that? Maybe by calling someone that we haven't talked to in a while, visiting a nursing home, writing a letter to someone that we have lost contact with for a while, reaching out to another person, maybe even just sitting with a group of people and friends and sharing Christmas carols, or maybe even telling a joke. It is an opportunity for us to bring joy to others, especially if their lives have been racked by suffering, financial challenges, worries and anxiety as they raise their children and sometimes do not feel supported. If we can take up that task of bringing joy to the world, then when we sing that song, Joy to the World, it will really mean something. So today, let's look to Our Lady. She is someone who doesn't think first about herself when she receives the good news, but rather she has the strength to go uphill in haste to take on the challenge of helping another person, of being there for someone who's in need. But also she does it in such a way that brings great joy to them. That is what brings us the joy of Christmas, when we bring it to others and see how their lives are lifted up, how their lives are enhanced and ennobled, because we have been there for them. We have given them reasons and hope for joy. So let us be like Mary, responsive to this wonderful invitation to celebrate the birth of Christ again, in a way that does not shy away from helping another person, bringing them a sense of joy, even if it costs us something. Maybe that's why the Church gives us this reading rather than the one about the Annunciation, because Mary has so much to offer us as an example, being the first Christian, the first disciple of Jesus. And so let us continue to pray through her intercession that we will have her responsiveness and answer the call of God in haste.